Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post it up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka done. Also, I would like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. They are an online therapy company. They are international, so no matter what country you are in, if you can get to the internet and fill out some questions on betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez, they can get you to an American counselor. Also, if you are in the US and you don't like the counselor that you have and you want to find a different one, go to betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez and they will get you together with a licensed master's level or PhD level counselor in your state. So there we go. Thank you, betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay, so let's get to the questions. There were lots of questions. Can you talk more about the inner child? I don't understand why we get stuck at that age. So, okay, the inner child. When we experience trauma, we can only process it through the cognitive age that we are. Does that make sense? So, for example, if we had trauma when we were 4, that kind of gets stuck in a 4-year-old way of thinking because that's when the trauma happened and that's where we were at cognitively. So it's kind of like that age that we were is where we kind of get stuck. And that's why when somebody's having an emotional reaction and I recognize they're not responding in their chronological age, I'll go, how old do you feel? Oftentimes they'll start crying. I feel like I'm 4. I feel like I'm 2. I feel like I'm 6. I feel like I'm 10. So whatever response they have, that's the age that trauma happened. And that's when I immediately go, what happened when you were that age? And then we start working on that. So it's because of the cognitive ability of what we have at the time. You work with what you got at the time, and that's kind of why we get stuck in those ages, depending on where the trauma, what time frame the trauma happened. Cognitively, how were we able to deal with it? 4-year-olds cannot cope with trauma the same way a 24-year-old can cope with trauma. 4-year-olds cannot cope with trauma the way a 16-year-old can cope with trauma. So that's why there's different ages, and that's why we get stuck, is because cognitively we didn't have the tools at the time to cope with it, deal with it, process it, etc. And so that's why reparenting is hugely important, and letting that little one know, hey, I'm your parent now. I got this. I got your back. I'm going to protect you. We're going to work through this, and you won't have to deal with it anymore. So that's, I hope that answers that question. Okay. So, okay, wait a minute. I didn't understand that question. In working with my inner child, I found different ages at different times trying to run the show. Is that normal? Apparently there's going to be a lot of inner child questions. Yeah, absolutely. If we had abusive parents or dysfunctional parents, and the abuse or the dysfunction was ongoing, it's going to be different ages that you're working on. That's why I like the Catherine Taylor book, Catherine Taylor's The Inner Child Workbook, because she goes from infant to toddler to young child to middle school to high school to college level to adult. And it's working through the different stages because, again, cognitively, you're working through the abuse as you were aging, as you were growing up. So that's why, like I said, reparenting, hugely important. You've got to reparent yourself and work with all those different ages. One thing that really helps, besides doing the Inner Child Workbook, guided imagery. Imagine sitting somewhere immensely safe. You're safe, right? It could be a beach, it could be a cabin, it could be the mountains, it could be a meadow, it could be whatever. Someplace that you feel really safe. And you call your inner child or children to you and have them sit around. And you just tell them how great they are and how much you love them. And ask them what they need. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, I need to be safe. I need to be believed. I need to be listened to. I need to be heard. I need to be validated. So you do that. You validate them, you listen to them, and then you send them off to play. And then now you know what to work on. It's like, I need some validation here. I need to be safe. I need to, so you work on the self-esteem workbook. You work on the inner child workbook, self-esteem workbook by Glenn Schiraldi, the inner child workbook by Catherine Taylor. So that is one way to do it, is guided imagery. The other thing you can do is you can write them a love letter. Dear 4-year-old me, dear 6-year-old me, dear 16-year-old me, whatever. I love you. I think you're great. Let me protect you. Let me be the parent now. Mom and dad were dysfunctional. Let me protect you. I love you. I hear you. I validate you. I believe you. You're awesome. Write them a love letter. That sometimes helps a lot. Okay. And yeah, sometimes different ages run the show, and that's totally, totally normal. I don't understand. My sister and I were raised in the same family, but she refuses to see the dysfunction. What is going on? Denial is huge in dysfunctional families. So yes, you can have, siblings, and everyone will have a different view. Some of them will see the dysfunction and others will not. And it depends on how disordered they are. So generally, the more disordered a person is, the less they're willing to admit that there was dysfunction in the family. And especially if they were the golden child. Well, no, there was nothing wrong. I was treated fine. What's your problem? So it really depends on what was going on. Were they the golden child? Was there a huge amount of dysfunction in the family and they were in denial about it? Are they disordered? What's going on? So generally, the more disordered somebody is, the more denial they have, or they were the golden child and they just don't want to admit that there was anything dysfunctional about the family. So yeah, you absolutely can have, 5 or 6 different family members, and one sibling is just like, no, mom and dad were great. And the rest of you are looking at them going, what are you smoking? Seriously. So yeah, that can happen, and it's denial. Oh dear. Is jealousy normal? Does that mean they love me? They get jealous when we watch a TV show and there's an attractive actor. No, absolutely not. So let's be clear. Jealousy is abnormal. It's not normal. It does not mean they love you. It means they are insecure. They are insecure. They're insecure about themselves. And so they're projecting, oh, well, that actor is really attractive. She or he must want to sleep with him, blah, 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 blah. Okay, look, I love Gerard Butler. I do. I think he's very attractive. There's a lot of actors I find very attractive. Am I ever going to leave my spouse for one of them? No. Okay. And John knows that. So we watch movies. He likes Salma Hayek. I like Gerard Butler. Not a problem. Somebody who gets jealous because there's an attractive actor and you happen to be enjoying their presence, that's not normal. And that is not love. Let us be very clear. If it hurts, it ain't love. If they're accusing you of being unfaithful because you're attracted to an actor, that too is not love. And that's also not being unfaithful. So yeah, there's, and unfortunately I see this in a lot of relationships with teenagers that think that because their boyfriend or girlfriend is jealous, that must mean they love them. No, all that means is they themselves are very, very insecure. Secure people don't get jealous. If somebody's going to leave you, they're going to leave you. Getting jealous is not going to do a damn thing about it, And what jealousy does is it erodes the relationship, because you're sitting there accusing them of doing this stuff that they're not doing. And eventually the person is going to get fed up with it, or the abuser is going to ramp it up and be like, well, you can't watch that TV show. You can't go out with your friends. You can't, no, that's a huge red flag. That is not love. Jealousy is not love. It is not normal. It does not mean they love you. And especially if they're getting jealous over an actor that you're never going to meet. I'm never going to meet Gerard Butler, ever. If they're getting jealous over an actor that you're never going to meet, oh, come on, please. That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So there's that. I just want my family to be normal. It's so hard for me to go no contact. I just want them to be normal. Oh, hon, I'm so sorry. Yeah, we all do. Seriously. Like when I was going through it with my family, it was so hard for me because I just wanted a normal family. I hear you. We all do. All of us who were raised by abnormal people, that were raised with dysfunction and chaos and drama and all that stuff, we just want a healthy, normal family where everybody gets along and everybody likes each other. Wow, what a concept. But unfortunately, you kind of have to accept what is. They're not normal. They are dysfunctional. They do engage in drama and chaos. It is not going to change. They are not going to get better, especially if they're not seeking help. If they're unwilling to go get counseling, there is not a chance of an ice cube in hell that they're going to change. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is hard. So it is kind of like a matter of acceptance. It's like, yeah, they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're not going to change. Yes, I wish I had a normal family. I have to become my own parent. I have to re-raise myself. And out of that, out of your own self-esteem, out of your own boundaries, out of your own self-worth and self-love, you will start surrounding yourself with healthier and healthier people, which then become your family. So there you go. So yeah, it is hard. It absolutely, I will not deny it. It is a hard thing to wrap your head around. And it is sad when you have to go no contact. But then you also have to look at, okay, if I don't go no contact, what are the consequences? Are they going to create drama? Are they going to create chaos? Are they going to continue to stir the pot? Are they going to continue to interfere? Are they going to continue to debase me? Are they continuing to abuse me? You don't want that. So then the only alternative is to go no contact. And that is hard, but not impossible. Get with a good trauma therapist to give you the tools to cope with the fear, the obligation, the guilt, the sadness, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope that answered the question. My mom denies saying things and doing things that I know she did and insists that I did things I did not do. What the heck? Okay, this is gaslighting. So what it is an abuser will do things and say things and then deny having said them. That's gaslighting, rewriting history. Or they will project and say, you did this, you're cheating, you're lying, you're this, you're that, when in fact it's the abuser doing this. And it's called projection. And the reason they do it is because they can't cope with the idea that they're not perfect and that they're doing this stuff. So because they're doing this stuff, they assume everybody around them is doing this stuff, which is why you have abusers very often going, well, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating, when in fact the abuser is the one cheating. And to make themselves feel better, they accuse you of doing it. So be very careful. When somebody accuses you of something that you're not doing, they're projecting. That means they are disordered. So absolutely. Oh, Jesus. I keep hearing that abusers really know what they are doing, but my grandmother says that it's like having cancer and can be cured. No, it is not curable. It is not curable. There is not a single case of a narcissist being quote unquote cured. Okay. There is no such thing as a self-aware narcissist. There are narcissists, there are psychopaths, but there are no self-aware psychopaths or self-aware narcissists. Sorry. So, no, and it is not like cancer. It is not like there's a pill out there that will stop them from being horrendous people. It is not like there is some magical thing that's going to keep them from being selfish POSs. So no, it is not like cancer. And do they know what they are doing? Absolutely. And it is a choice. And they are doing things on purpose. Let me be clear. When someone chooses to rage, to yell, to scream, to debase, to harm, to hurt, to devalue, that's a choice. They know GD good and well what they're doing. Okay? They do. They know exactly what they are doing. And it is on purpose, and it is intentional, and it is with intent. Their intent is to undermine your sense of self-worth so that you are easier to manipulate. No, it is not like cancer. Absolutely not. They do not get better. They are offered opportunities all the time to go to therapy. They won't go. Either they won't go, or if they do go, they pick a therapist that does not know their hind end from a hole in the ground, or is so new to therapy that they don't understand personality disorders, or a therapist that they can easily manipulate. And, or if they do go to therapy, they'll go once, maybe twice, and then they'll stop going. Oh, that therapist is incompetent. Oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. Typical narcissist BS. So no, They don't change. Yes, they do know what they are doing. Yes, it is on purpose. Yes, it is with intent. A narcissist's whole goal is power and control. And to get power and control, they will say and do whatever they need to feed that narcissistic supply. They don't care. They don't care. Let me be clear. Your ex is not pining away for the fjords off in a room somewhere thinking about all the good times you guys had. No. As soon as they're done with you, they're off to the next supply. They don't care. They don't care. They do not have that empathy cog. They do not feel the way you and I feel. They do not love the way you and I love. They don't. And to think that they do is a fatal mistake, because ultimately what every narcissist, every dark triad wants, a dark triad is the narcissist, psychopath, control freak, otherwise known as a Machiavellian. What they want is you dead. They either want your soul dead, crushed, or they physically want you dead. Listen to me now, believe me later. They don't get better, they don't change, and they're not innocent. They know exactly what they're doing. It is with a purpose and it is with intent. I hope that answered the question. Your grandmother's absolutely wrong. All right. I feel addicted to my abuser. If I get stonewalled, I feel like I'm going to die. Yes. Yes. So stonewalling lights up the same centers in the brain as physical pain. What is happening is that the abuser comes at us like gangbusters. Love bomb, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. Gotta be with you every day. Gotta be with you every day. Gotta be with you every day. Oxytocins. Oxytocins are the bonding chemicals. So it bonds lovers together. It bonds moms to babies. Okay, babies to moms. So it's oxytocin. So we get flooded with oxytocin. And then when they stonewall, I'm not talking to you. They're gone. Our bodies start producing a ton of oxytocin in order to try to reconnect. And it is a withdrawal as those levels start going down, and there is no reconnection. Stonewalling is intentional. It's the intermittent positive rewards. I love you, I love you, I love you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And it stimulates the same pain centers as physical abuse. Isn't that interesting? They do it on purpose. Abso-freaking-lutely. Because it makes the person over here holding the emotional bag and desperate to literally get back in touch with the abuser so that they can get the oxytocins going again. So yeah, they're no bueno at all. And that is why you feel like you're going to die. And it is an addiction. We're not addicted to the abuse. I want to make that extremely and extraordinarily clear. We are not addicted to the abuse. We are addicted to the oxytocins, and we are addicted to the feel-good chemicals that kick in when they're in the love bombing phase. I love you, I love you, I love you. And then boom, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Oh my God. And then they're nice to us again. Oh yeah, they're back. This is great. Oh no, they're gone again. Oh my gosh. Oh no, wait, they're back. And so we start living for those moments when they're kind. And it's addictive. It is. And this is exactly how they treat POWs. The guards in the POW camps would abuse, and then be nice. Be nice, abuse. You know, and it was to get the POWs to be more malleable to brainwashing, to doing whatever the guards wanted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it's intentional. And it's the oxytocins, and it is addictive. And yes, it does feel like we're going to die without them. It does. But then the reality of it is, once we get out of their clutches and we start working on our own self-love, self-esteem, boundaries, etc., we can look back and go, oh my God, that was really messed up. What the heck? You know, and we see the addiction. We see what was going on. And again, we're not addicted to the abuse. We're addicted to the oxytocins, and we're addicted to those times when they're good, when they're kind to us. So yeah, it is very addictive. And it's called intermittent positive rewards. Yep. So, and it's used in POW camps. It's how they make prisoners be more compliant and obey. So interesting. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. I think that's it for today. So this week on We Need to Talk with Chris Godinez on YouTube, I will be talking about friends frenemies or foe, and how to know the difference between those and what to do. All right, guys, have a great week, and I will talk to you later. I want to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. All right, guys, have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye.